So the first question there is that you open the recycle info, and that was created for you prior on your data, which can be found on the common server as well under 3.7. Okay, so the first question there is to add a table of contents at the top of the document using two levels. Okay, so this is already pre-designed for you. So you're going to click in that space over there. Everything that we are going to do now with regards to referencing and references is going to be in that little ribbon there in Word. So we are going to click on references, and we're going to say we want to add our table of contents. But we want to custom it because we want to tell them that we want to show them with two levels. There is where you edit your levels, and we say, okay. Then the next one says the subheading, how is paper recycled, should appear in the table of contents, but it actually is not. We should correct that. Now, the reason for something to be in a document and not appearing in the table of contents is because that specific heading is not being styled. Okay, so remember, the table of contents is made visible because of the fact that each one of those headings and subheadings have been pre-styled by our styling option in Home. So we will have to go and see that if you click on the Home ribbon, you will see that all of these other subheadings that's appearing in the table of contents has been made to style with a heading 2. It's been edited and formatted in that way. Okay, while this one is not. It's on a normal text font. So we need to highlight that, and we need to make sure that that we are using our heading 2. Okay, and then we also then obviously have to go back. This is a very important part, and just say update the entire table so that when we go there, that little subscript is then connected. Okay, as you can see, it is appearing there. Okay, now at C it says you need to add the table of figures. Now remember, figures is different from contents, as it obviously have all the figures, the diagrams, and the figures that's going to be in your document. For instance, let's say you're doing an allo task and you've got a CV saved as a little image, or you're making a screenshot of a questionnaire you've made or formatted, then that will be referred to as a figure. Okay, so you will just go into insert to the table of figures, and remember, this is pre-approved, so you don't have to understand that. However, if they ask you to change the tab leader, remember the tab leader is the little line that you are going to get from the text onto the page. So let's say they've asked for a solid line, which they are not asking at the moment. They just say to leave it, but then you will click and have the option to make it different there. Can you see there's a solid line? So again, if you can just go and have a look at the tab leader over there, if you go into custom your table of contents, you can also choose it to either be a solid line or then none, and that will then be the line that appears in between your text and your page number to the right. Okay, I'm moving on then to, so they've inserted those two as the figures, and then they ask you to locate the green highlight, and you need to insert that caption. Okay, so we've done some of this in our PAT, where you had to now put in a source. Okay, so that's also going to be under references. You're going to say manage sources. And I do apologize for the noise at the moment. It's break time, so everybody's in the hallway. Okay, now I've already done this before, so it's already going to be there, but I just quickly want to show you. You're going to put in your author, you're going to say it's a book, you're going to say the title, the year 2012, London, and Z Book is the publisher. Everything is given there to you, except the only thing not showing there is the pages. So you need to click on that little more option, show all the bibliography fields to enter in it too. And then you would say, okay, and then that will be able to be cited. So I'm just going to say insert my citation. Don't know why it's not giving it to me now. Manage the source. Let's just say I want to edit that. Okay. Okay. And then it's supposed to be there. Okay, which I don't see, but anyway, it's supposed to be entered in there. Okay, nevertheless, let's carry on. There is a reference to the Swords McBride. Okay, so this I've already rectified, but I just want to show you. You're going to click on the McBride, you're going to say edit, and then you will see the year says London, which should be 2012, and then the city should be London, which was now then the other way around. So just say close, and then you can insert your citation in there in the correct way. Okay, so it will be inserted there. And then the last one there, or not the last one, the second last one says you need to add the caption is needed under the diagram on page 3. So we are on page 3 at the moment. This is the diagram they are talking about. You want to insert a caption, which is a little thing saying what it is, okay? And you can just actually, they're not saying to delete that, so I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to say I want it to say what is needed. Okay, or you can delete that whole thing there and just say then what is needed. Okay, and let's say you don't want the label to be figure 1, you can just say what is needed, and then you can just make sure that that would be deleted, and then you will only see those things there. Okay, so if they ask for figure 1, then you can keep that label as is. Then you need to go to asset terrain and you need to edit the end note. Now, very important for you to understand that the end note or a footnote is at the end of your page, where a end note would be at the end of your document. So they are asking for a footnote. So there we are going to put in our footnote. So we're going to enter it there, and we're going to say we want to insert a footnote, insert it, and then we actually want to edit it. Okay, so before you should actually, I just quickly want to see because I'm scared it's not going to edit if you go into it. Yes. Before you say insert footnote, rather if I ask you, if it's a normal footnote and it's a little one given to you there as a footnote, it's fine. But let's say I've asked you to give me a symbol, for instance, like an asterisk or a hashtag. You will go to Arial, you will then say asterisk or hashtag, whatever it might be, and then you would say insert. Okay, and then that will appear. And then they said that you must take all of that text and you must insert it there as a footnote, which will automatically be then Control V. And just take note, they ask you to take off that highlighting, which will be done there. And then they also ask you to change that to a subscript, and then just make that an underscore, which will be the normal, not a subscript. Then the underscore next to the 0 on your keyboard will then create that little negative. Okay, for those of you who have science will understand then that is your nitrogen oxides. Okay, so very important then to see how you will edit the footnote. And remember now, a footnote basically means that will refer to whatever is standing later on. So maybe you elaborating on something. Okay, then for the sake of the test, I'm going to skip through the page numbers for now and also through marking all of those main entries as for read, but you need to just quickly look at the index. So I'm quickly just going to show you those two things. So the index needs to be at the bottom part of your page, or it's going to be then. If they ask you to insert the index, you're going to go into references again. You're going to say insert, and then you can also then edit it there. Okay, if they ask you for one or maybe three columns, there is where you're going to get it. Okay, and it's going to automatically line that up for you. And then the last part I just want to show you is how to insert a bibliography. Now, we've done this in the past. You're going to say insert bibliography. And then if you need to edit this, okay, so let's say I'm saying bibliography, okay, and I am saying, okay, I want that to also be part of a heading. Just take note that if I need to change that style, I can change it to a Harvard. I can change it from Harvard back to APA. That is where you will now change your bibliography. Okay, so that's also just important that you take note of that. And then I think we've come to the end of our referencing word processing part.